What's good? What's good? What's good with y'all, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey. We got my man Ron Lowe in the building. As y'all know him as the professor. Pretty hot with the picks this season so far, so good. I don't
I'm
know.
trying.
We don't know. Maybe Bishop goes up, maybe he doesn't. Uh, it, it'd be like that sometimes. But as y'all know, if you tune it in, y'all know what it is. It's E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on and fall in with your favorite vets on this net as we get to the topics in sports. So it's been chock full. You know what? I feel a certain type of way this morning, Ron. I'm not gonna even lie to you, brother.
Okay.
I feel I feel a certain type of way due to the fact that I went against my squad yesterday. In any case, I'm glad. I would gladly accept that L in any case, but I went against my squad. But we're going to get to that, of
We knew
course.
this was gonna happen.
Yeah, that part for real. What's good morning? What's good, Applewhite? Good morning, brother. Glad to see you in
It was
formation.
our executive decision. It was a win-win
Yeah,
for
you
us.
got to do that sometimes. He said, "I'm just like Lon, no loyalty."
It
Hey, good morning, Jackie. Good morning. Glad to see you in formation. Plenty of loyalty. It's just sometimes you got to make those, like Ron said, you got to make those executive decisions. Sometimes you just have to sit up and do what it is and know, like, hey, it's like Tim
right.
Donaghy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Tim Donaghy. Tim didn't. I'm just, or I guess I'm like Tim. He said he never betted from that aspect of betting to win. He just betted where he thought seemed fit. But well, he said he never changed the outcome of the game. Or
Y'all
he
held us
said
to no touchdowns, man.
he said that would not ever happen.
It's what would never happen.
Talk about him going
Him
against
going
the
against the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Hey.
We don't have to worry about you going against them. They're gonna go against themselves.
But before we really get into the NFL conversation, because Ron said something that was very interesting. Like he said, no held to no touchdowns, but we will definitely get into that. But what we do know is the NBA is coming full strength, Ron, uh, gearing up, gaining speed, and getting basically ready to lock in as the 18th is approaching us very swiftly. As we know, um, the current NBA reigning champions, Golden State Warriors, will be taking on the Los Angeles Lakers in Oakland on the 18th October to open up the season. One game in Oakland, the other in Milwaukee. Um, but what happened is, of course, there was a slate of 5 games last night, and we'll get to those games momentarily. But interestingly enough, what I did not realize is, Ron, Milwaukee center Carl Anthony Towns has been out the whole training camp with a throat infection. He basically what's good, Leslie. Ron is around fans, but his Eagles won. But his Eagles won. He's gonna go on that. So the backdrop on Ron, he is from Philly, but the Browns is his squad. I can kind of understand it.
Thank you, Trey.
No different than Bishop is from uh, New York, but his squad is the Eagles. Um, but he rocks with the Brooklyn Nets, and then of course his affinity for Oklahoma comes from him growing up in Oklahoma. So I can get it. I get it. I completely understand it. I'm from St. Louis, so the Rams my team too. No, that is not
he
the same thing.
they left the city. They did St. Louis dirty. And Eric, when I realized that my team could just up and leave the city, is when I realized I could up and leave my team. How they go? No, 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 no. So the Rams moved to LA, and I just adopt all the LA teams as well, Eric. So I guess I could claim the Chargers. I claim the Lakers. I claim the Dodgers. I might as well claim the Clippers too, huh, Trey?
No, you shouldn't do that. You can't. That's you can't. So you can't. You can't claim the Lakers and claim the Clippers.
Well,
But
my
it's just
real question with California is, can I get
yes,
on
sir.
USC's bandwagon, sir? Are y'all accepting applications? Because I'm a
Uh,
huge fan of Caleb. Like, I love my Michigan Wolverines, but how you expect me not to like and love Caleb Williams playing football? I
well,
can't root for that, Eric.
what's going on, Kadeeth? What's going on, sis? Good morning. Glad to have your information with us. Leslie, see Seattle. No, we're not gonna have any Seattle talk this morning with Leslie. With none of that.
They only got
Uh,
the best quarterback in the league.
That's what it's looking like. And you know what? Let me go ahead and finish the NBA because we got a lot to talk about NFL. But Ron, he is eating Russell Wilson's lunch. Like at this point, it's looking like they made the wrong decision. But like I said, we gonna get to that momentarily. But yeah, like Big Cat, basically KAT, Big Cat, Carl Anthony Towns, throat infection, hospitalized him basically the whole training camp in which he was out. He recently just got cleared to walk. We ain't talking about contact sport. He's just got cleared recently to walk. He's basically went from 231 pounds to 200 from 248 pounds to 231 pounds. Of course, he's been bedridden during the duration of his hospitalization, and even at now, he just got out Saturday and was able, like I said, clear the walk, and so he's not expected to be at tonight's game as he is still recovering as they play against Miami for the beginning of this preseason. So as we know, Big Cat, interesting enough, Ron, 25-point average, 10 points from 10, basically double double, 25 and 10. But even more interesting, 41% from behind the arc, Ron. That was Big Cat's numbers from last year.
Lethal. He told us he's the best big man shooting threes ever. That's better than Dirk, Peja. He said that's his crown. So
41% from three. I don't know. Is that going to be easy for him to
does
keep?
he have?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm going. I think we can expect that points per game average to go up from 26 to maybe 28 points something.
Mm,
Rebounds probably gonna drop. Assists too, but with Gobert on his team, he's gonna have the ability to not have to worry about defense,
mm.
which has been his biggest thing. Is Cat,
Have
you
to
can
play
do all
both
this on the
sides
offense, but you got
both
to
sides of the
protect the
court.
rim
Yeah.
too. Big now, he don't have to do that no more. He can just come out and be like, I'm here strictly for buckets, and therefore everybody. So hopefully Big Cat gets well soon. He ain't had it easy in 3-4 years, man. It's horrible continuing to hear bad news with him. And
Uh,
the lung infection, it's not like he just tore or ripped something. He really got something wrong with his body.
Correct. Yes.
Hopefully,
They
prayers
said
up
it's
for
not.
him.
They said it's non-COVID, of course, but like you said, a whole throat infection that hospitalizes you over a course of a week or so. That's like you said. Something's got to be wrong with the body, of course. Like you said, and then when you look at it, his family has perished from COVID. Mother and father basically succumbed to that pandemic, and then of course him to come out, and now he's dealing with ailments that presumably could have been life-threatening. I presume. Um, but like you said, like Ron just said, prayers to the family, to Big Cat and his family as he recovers. Bigger than basketball for the most part. Another conversation in news: of Cleveland Cavaliers forward, even Mobley, as we know, he was the hot stepper one last year, second runner up to the Rookie of the Year, as he averaged 18 and 8 last year with 2 blocks to boot in his rookie season. Basically, Mobley is out for a week or two with a high ankle sprain as he suffered in his practice on Saturday. He's going to miss tomorrow's game versus the 76ers. And then additionally, he's in danger of missing the NBA season debut against the Toronto Raptors. So again, another situation. Mobley, I think Rob was talking about it. You have high expectations for Cleveland in a sense. I know Mobley's one of the players in which they discuss and talk about, saying that he is a player that could be a superstar without being the best player on his team, and have more impact without scoring the most points on this team. Of course, when we know we now have Darius Garland that's there, as well as Donovan Mitchell. What do you think when someone gives that a player that type of praise, Ron?
We're gonna be talking about him in the top 20 of all time.
Oh wow,
That's his ceiling.
okay,
That is
okay,
his ceiling. Tim Duncan
good
affect
point.
the game everywhere and not even be the best player. And Tim Duncan, what did he have? He had Mono and Parker. And what does Mobley have now? Garland and Spider.
Mm-hmm.
And he really got, Duncan had Robinson,
that part,
the big man.
yeah, he did. So now he
Don't
he
the
got Jared
Cavs
Allen.
guy?
Yeah.
Don't the Cavs? Exactly.
Mhm.
It's almost like they got the exact same script. It's beautiful. And now what they need to do is to get that mean 3-and-D wig. Maybe like a what's the dude's name from the Suns? Crowder.
Yes. Oh, Jay
Would I want
Crowder.
him as
Jay
a
Crowder.
3-and-D for this team? Yeah. Yeah, they need a 3-and-D young guy. I don't want him. I want somebody young that's just gonna be zip, zap, boom, boom, guard the best player on the other team, Tatum or Durant. But that could be Mobley. He's decent on the perimeter too.
Mm.
He's a bad boy.
He got his brother. His brother's there. You got a Roku that's still there. You know what? Funny. Leslie brings up something when he talks about Jonathan Isaac has been out for 2 years straight. The brother was 22 when he got hurt. He is now 25 years old. It's just, what I'm saying, that's the lifestyle, man.
Yeah.
That Greg Oden type, Sam Bowie type stuff.
Right. He was promising too.
So before we get into this conversation, I want to bring up a couple of players that are in their second year, and I would like to know, Ron, do you believe, or which one of these players do you believe can have their breakout season for their respective team? 10 players total. I have all second year players. The first one, I'll run through this list and then we can discuss about it, of course. The first up being Nick Claxton, the center for the Brooklyn Nets. I think you have an affinity for this particular one. Point guard for the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I think this man is pretty nice. I think he's under the radar, and I think he's going to blow at some point. Shooting guard for the Indiana Pacers, Chris Duarte. I actually like this guy. Oklahoma City Thunder's point guard, Josh Giddey. Another one I prefer. I kind of have starting to pay attention to. Houston Rockets shooting guard Jalen Green. I think this guy is a problem all on his own. Another one that's going to grow. He might even push your man's Indiana Pacers point guard Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know if that trade was worth it. At shooting guard, New Orleans Pelicans Trey Murphy III. A USC alumnus, played next to even Mobley 1 year. Atlanta Hawks center Oyika Agwanku. Alperen Sengun, center from the Houston Rockets. And lastly, Franz Wagner, Orlando Magic shooting guard, and your University of Michigan alumnus. Ryan, out of those names, who do you think has the highest ceiling? Who do you has the top breakout season coming here, or multiple, whomever?
The answer to that question is unfortunately very easy. Detroit basketball.
Still rocking with Cade, huh?
Breakout. Who's the best out of all of that group?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not even going to be close. And Jaden, not Jaden. What's my guy in Houston?
Oh, I was thinking Jalen Green. You was right, Jalen Green.
Yeah, Jalen Green.
Yeah, I was thinking about Jalen Green.
He's going to be the next closest up.
Mm-hmm.
However, I just don't believe in that organization like that. Like the Houston Rockets ain't like it to putting together the solution to putting together a healthy basketball roster. And Jalen Green definitely has a major part of that light skin syndrome, where he's clearly gonna make it all about him. I think he takes like 30 shots a game, Trey. Is what I mean. Like it's his show. So they got a lot of new pieces that's coming. Is he gonna be able to work and be a great partner with the number 3 pick that they got? A guy out of Auburn? Is that going to fit? Is that going to be mold with all the other pieces? I don't know, but I am positive Cade is going to work in Detroit because he's the leader.
Okay, I could go with that.
And he leads.
I was thinking about, like I said, like dude, I was just talking about Jalen Green. As I was going through the list, I was like, yeah, like I like Duarte. Of course, Halliburton. You got is definitely a person which I really have a like in him pushing the field. I wonder, although Sabonis is a formidable player, an international player, a huge international player, but what Halliburton brought to the offense in Sacramento, I think they could have met the same type of ascendance in Sacramento with Halliburton and Fox. But of course, you don't need 2 point guards. Halliburton can play off the ball. Fox can play off the ball. But Jalen Green, I think, is like one of those players that's going to continue to ascend out in Houston. And he's, like you just said, he's Jabari Smith now. Kevin Porter Jr. is there as well. They just got a bunch of and then Eric Gordon, I think, is one of those players that could bring out, you know what I'm saying, as a veteran
he's
presence.
Coming to Philly.
He said, y'all finna get Eric Gordon. I wanted him in LA for the longest, but I won't argue with you in reference to Cade, as I think he's going to be one of those late bloomers to where no one is really checking for him. He's known, but no one's literally checking for him. Like they start to get mesmerized by other things, and then bam, here he comes, kicking the door, waving the fofo, saying, "Papa, Big Papa, don't hit me no more." You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, definitely. So yes.
Back to the list.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Of course, we went through the top prospects. If these players were stock options, the stock that I'm investing everything in was the first player, Mr. Claxton.
Really?
Oh my gosh. We can talk about his role in the Brooklyn. Because my favorite thing about him is he's literally not needed on the court. He's not needed for defense and rebounding, and they got Ben Simmons. He's not needed for offense and scoring. They got KD and Kyrie. So this man, his only responsibility is to be a presence. He can shoot. He can work, pick and roll. He can screen, great defender. He's just going to be able to flourish. It's going to be coming to a work environment with no stress, no responsibility. He basically get to be a senior E4 that don't got nobody above him, or got everybody above him, and he just get to come to work and,
the middleman, play that middleman role. Good morning, Kim. Glad to see you.
There's never going to be a time in the huddle where the coach... Shout out.
Never a time in the huddle with the coach.
There's never going to come a time in the coach in the huddle, Trey. It's going to say, Claxton, I need you following. In the Brooklyn Nets is going to be fun. Most definitely.
So, Mobley, Haley, I see that you said Mobley.
You sound like you didn't agree with that.
No, I can get it. I get your point.
Anthony Davis, wow.
But I wonder, Haley, what Anthony Davis are we talking about? The injury-prone Anthony Davis or the skilled player Anthony Davis? But back to what you were saying, Ron, I do agree with it. I think that's the most. I think that's the best position. I think that's the best position to be in, is to be that middleman. Like you said, you can be a leader, but you don't got to be a leader because you got so many leaders above you and in front of you. And then of course, MVP season AD. Okay, I see what you're saying, Haley. And then additionally,
I didn't know he had an MVP season.
Well, I guess it was the MVP season, which he was looking at potentially the MVP season. But then additionally,
if that's the case, the Cavs is going to the finals.
I don't know about that.
I do.
You think so?
I mean,
you would put him over the three-headed monster in Philly at this point. Well,
if he's MVP season, as a second-year player, then then it's literally I could see it. It's literally going to go Giannis, Embiid, then him. Maybe the
Mm.
Joker in between there. Like he's going to be there, and then it, who got the best swingman? Embiid got Harden. Um, Giannis got Middleton. He got Spider Mitchell. I honestly think I would take him out of those three players: Middleton, Harden, and Spider.
I think we can't sleep on James Harden yet. As much as I don't like to say it, I think James Harden.
Oh, his best shape in 5 years. You right.
Because think, you know what I'm
Best
saying?
shape of his life in
I,
5 years.
I wonder what he's I wonder what he done put in his bag now. It's like you done been off, you know what I'm saying? You back in shape, you should I wonder what he done put in his bag. What's in his bag now? If Bishop was on, I
Who
asked him
got the
what's in
best?
James
Who
Harden's
got the
bag.
best? Who got the best third wheel? Would it be um,
I think
Maxey, Garland, or Holiday?
ooh.
I think Maxey takes another big leap this year.
Hopefully
More of
which
that
but
non-responsibility thing.
I think Garland. I think the edge goes to Garland specifically because
Ooh wee.
he controls the ball for the most part, and you have that in
Now
but
he broke.
Maxi's. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your point. I was going to talk about
I was about to
Garland.
say. I was about to say Maxi has to share the ball with James, and we don't know how much he's going to come off the
Mm-hmm.
ball and stuff like that. So I think Garland having the his ascension was no one seen his ascension coming. He was moved to Miami, and basically Colin Sexton gave him the window to walk through, and he was on his who's that creeping in my window? Pow, and that was it. And now,
You own it today.
yeah, hope we don't get us hit for infringements. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, we do not own the rights to those lyrics. But yeah, so I think
Right.
Garland definitely. I think Garland would be that best third wheel. Drew Holiday, not to say that he isn't, but I mean that's Giannis's team. But you were saying about Garland?
Ah, what was I saying about Garland? Oh, I was talking about his ascension. You kind of went right into it. I was going to say that was his first year arriving. How much money can we put in that bank that he's going to be able to bring it again next year and some more?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess only time will tell.
So I see.
But you would think
Was
with
it?
Spider Mitchell coming there, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, of course. And now I see. Of course, Leslie Stowe said the best going is Cade. The most underrated going is Vance Wagner. Wagner. What do you think about Franz? He's your Michigan alum,
Oh,
yeah, he's a Michigan alum, right? Him,
right.
his brother was there
I
before him.
love shooters that shoot their shot. Right. He's a lethal shooter. I love him. Am I coming
White said,
through like with an
yeah.
echo or?
No, it's not an echo.
Oh, okay.
I hear you. I hear you. Richard White said we sleeping on Middleton. Uh, Not putting. He
Mm-hmm.
said he's not putting chips on Harden. Plays well early and fizzles out late in the season. AD
Mm-hmm.
cannot stay healthy. Not going to anywhere near MVP. And then Haley. We'll get to that in a second because of course they had some games, Haley. So we'll definitely touch on that. Ben Simmons. But he says Ben Simmons is the best third wheel in the East. Of course, Apple White comes back and says Ben Simmons is the best third wheel. He's not dependable. So
I
I
wouldn't
guess.
say Ben Simmons is better than Garland. He's not better than Drew Holiday. Can we keep going? Ben Simmons is the best third. That's my stepchild. I don't know about that. We have to watch him play basketball.
And which is interesting, as of course last night, like you said, the NBA popped up a couple of games last night. One of those games being uh, the um, the 76ers played against the Nets last night, which the 76ers were victorious, getting the W 127 to 108. 76ers led by Tyrese Maxey's 20 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 15 points apiece from Farrakhan Korsmas, as well as Julian Champagne. 7 rebounds, 3 assists for Champagne, 2 rebounds and 4 assists for Korkmaz. Tobias Harris, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Yes, Tobias Harris is back, Ron. Matisse Thybulle, 3 points, 1 rebound. In which I have a question for you, reference to Matisse. Additionally, of course, Montrezl Harrell, the new addition, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. The Nets, Kevin Durant, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists from your man Nick. Royce O'Neal, 11 points, 2 rebounds, no assists. Kyrie Irving, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in 19 minutes of play. Basically, it's pretty even. The most points played was between David Duke and Royce O'Neal. Ben contribute 19 with in 19 minutes of play, 6 rebounds, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists.
Ben
In his
Simmons played basketball. Wow.
first time back in over 500 days,
Wow.
as he's been away almost a year and a half.
Wow.
Ben Simmons with a little stat stuffer, I guess you could say,
Wow.
6, 4, and 5. Ceiling for Ben Simmons, Ron. Ceiling for Ben
Can we
Simmons.
just have like a brief moment of silence? Can we just have a brief moment of silence and just take it in? Wow, I didn't even realize it. Like when we thought, oh my gosh, Ben Simmons got to play. He played.
Do we expect great things from Ben?
It's a lot for me.
It's a lot.
It's a lot with me. I never thought Ben Simmons would not be a part of my life as a 76er. Wow. Yeah. Benson, I can't wait. 3 for 6. Of course, he shot 0 for 0 from the 3.
Oh, Randy Haley said triple double Simmons all season long. Is that going a little too far? You think, Ron?
Definitely. Double? No, that's all he's there for is the pass and rebound. The struggle is going to be the points. He's going to have a lot of 6-point performances like he did last night. He's going to be like a Draymond Green.
Oh, okay. Contribution, but not huge on the books, but it was definitely a contribution. Applewhite said he got some good drink this morning. Applewhite, he's just not in agreement with anyone this morning. Let's see if you agree with any of this. And the Orlando Magic took on the Memphis Grizzlies last night. Magic 97-109 for the Grizzlies. With Grizzlies moving to 2-0 for the season. The Magic was led by, of course, Moritz Wagner's 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. 17 points, 5 rebounds from Cole Anthony. 14 points from R.J. Hampton. 12 from Terrence Ross. Banchero, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Mo Bamba, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Who else we had out there? Terrence Ross, we got 2. Bobo had 1.6 rebounds, 2 assists in 20 minutes of play. Wendell Carter Jr., 5, 4, and 1. Again, most of the minutes spread out. Everyone did get a chance to play. Caleb Houston. Yeah, I'm not going to put them out there like that. But, and then, of course, the Grizzlies, led by Ja Morant's 22 points, 4 rebounds, 76. 13 rebounds, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist from Brandon Clark. Desmond Bain contributed with 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Steven Adams, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Of course, Triple J did not play as he's still recovering from off-season surgery. And Dylan Brooks, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Ryan, what's the ceiling for, in your opinion, for the Memphis Grizzlies in this upcoming season in the West? What's good? Let's say
top 4 seed.
Top 4. Of course, Bishop. Applewhite. Of course, Applewhite, Infinity from Memphis, being that's his team. But top 4, you say top 4.
Yep. and that's the whole NBA.
Mm.
Their system, they're deep. I wish they would have made a splashy trade, but they kept their depth. If Triple J stays healthy, that's the key. Triple J and Ja, they both went down. I mean, Ja Morant missed the whole beginning of the season last year, and they were still the best team during that run. So, um, you know who they remind me of? Like a Golden State Warriors in 2013, 14, 15, before that first championship.
When they play, oh, okay, I was going to say the one when they played Utah, but they're ahead of that time frame.
Yeah, right. I honestly probably would go as far as to say they're the best team out west.
Ooh,
Because in my eyes, Golden State is what we're going to say is the best team. They just won a championship, but
yes, sir.
Memphis was about to go up. They did go up 2-1 on them boys, and Ja Morant dropped a 50 piece before he went down injured, and that's the last thing I remember. They coming back looking for revenge. All Summer 16 since we dropped the
Awesome.
hit today.
Okay, well, if y'all ain't caught it yet, it's a whole
I can't
hip
wait.
hop vibe this morning. But of course, another
Most
player coming back
definitely.
for the first time, 476 games out the league. Um, Portland took on the Clippers last night. Portland taking the L, just 5 points, losing 97 to 102, as both Dame and Kawhi Leonard make their appearances. Of course, Dame, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jeremy Grant playing for the first time in Portland, that's since being traded, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Another player coming off an injury, Nusuf Nurkic, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. Um, the new contributor, I guess, Dame's running mate, Anthony Simmons, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Justin Winslow, six points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Uh, he doesn't look like he has too much help there. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, in 16 minutes of play, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Paul George, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. John Wall, 5 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Robert Covington, 6 and 2. Um, Isaac Zubac, Avika Zubac, 8 points, 2 rebounds, no assists. And Amir Coffey with the high, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Ron, do you think Kawhi said he missed being away from the league? He's ready to get back out there. Uh, does that equate to wins for the Clippers?
I think we have to say yes. Without a doubt. The Clippers is they're gonna be right there with Memphis Grizzlies. It's really them and the
Mm,
Clippers. Of course, we say that with an asterisk because
mm-hmm.
we haven't seen them healthy or stay healthy in years. But the Clippers without Kawhi and Paul George was the playoff team.
True
They
that.
was bottom half, but they are really good. And I feel like Coach Lue is the best coach in the NBA.
Mm,
The crown went from Popovich to him. Watching what he did with LeBron against the Warriors and watching him with this Clipper roster year after year. He's like what's the Steelers coach? Tomlin. He's the
Tomlin.
Tomlin of basketball. The Clipper, his team is going to be formidable no matter who's on the roster, who's showing up. He's going to make them boys want to play. So if the Clippers stay healthy, they gonna lose to the Lakers in
Ooh.
7 games, maybe. Like I threw that in there, but they're right there at the top of the bunch. It's kind of the same with the Lakers. If AD and LeBron stay healthy, what are we talking about here?
Crash course.
Them, the Clippers, and Memphis. Notice I'm not saying go to state though.
It's kind of hard to keep them up out of there, though. Last night, another
Yeah, I know.
appearance, another guy who's just making his appearance for his first time after 2 years of being down, over 600 days without being on the floor. The Oklahoma City Thunder took on the Denver Nuggets, in which the Oklahoma City Thunder were victorious, winning 112 to 101 in preseason action. The Thunder led by Trey Mann, 17 points and 2 assists. Aaron Wiggins, 15.3 rebounds, 1 assist. Josh Giddey, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Uh, 11 points, 3 rebounds from Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Kendrick Williams, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. On the other side of the ball, the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Jamal Murray as he makes his appearance. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Yes, Ron, Jamal Murray is back. Now I wonder, are there going to be
I think
problems?
I left a team out of that mix, Trey.
Do we have problems in Denver now?
Oh
But you know
man,
what? This is what when I just read that, this also came to mind, Ron. Is Jokic the same player with Murray there? You gotta think. 2 years, the 2 years
better.
in which the 2 years in which Murray was gone, Jokic became two-time MVP. Does the rhetoric change with Murray back?
Well, I'm gonna switch it up. The rhetoric doesn't because
Okay.
Jamal Murray does not he does not help Jokic in the area where he needs help at. Murray isn't going to help him on offense because guess what? The Joker don't need Murray to do what he do. We've all
Mm.
seen that. So what does Murray add to Joker's game?
But now, so now, do you think? I don't
Just
think
to
the
have somebody else.
true, but I don't think the ball goes through Joker anymore. Murray, their point guard is back. Their point
Yeah,
guard who
that's what
was
I was going to
suspended
say.
prior to. Yeah. Now,
Right.
now,
He's
now
going
you
to have
take now
somebody
the
else to rely on.
now I think Joker comes off the ball and the playmaking ability that we've seen in the 2 years in which he was gone because he was almost forced to do it. Now we don't see it as much. No different from for the most part. If you take and add a player of Jamal Murray's caliber to a team like Dallas Mavericks, I don't know if we see the same type of Luka. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing which I'm getting at when you talk about Jamal Murray being back in Denver with Nikola Jokic. Is Jokic the same player with Murray there? It remains to be seen. But of course, like I said, last night they were able to get a W, winning 112 to 101. No correction, losing 112 to 101 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder as they contended with the Diaper Dandies. And of course, Michael Porter Jr. is back for Denver as well. So Denver might be a whole different type of vibe coming this season, where we're kind of like leaving them out, but they're getting their top two players back. I don't know. We might have a different outlook. The West might be back to its old way of sorts of ways with being a whole issue and a problem and having dominance. Of course, lastly, 5 games like I said played last night. Last of the 5 games being the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings with the 30-point dub beating the Los Angeles Lakers 105 to 75, um, led by Keegan Murray, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Uh, Rashawn Holmes contributed with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. De'Aaron Fox, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Uh, Everyone played a 7 minute average. Harrison Barnes, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Domantas Sabonis, 4 rebounds, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Kevin Huerter, 5 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 5 points, 2 assists. Davian Mitchell with 7, 1, and 3 himself. Malik Monk, the new addition, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. On the other side of the ball, the Lakers were led by Anthony Davis, 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists in 16 minutes of play. Cole Swider, 10 points contribution. Ryan Gabriel, 6 points, 10 rebounds. Only other player in double figures off the boards. LeBron, 16 minutes, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Kendrick Nunn, 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Russell Westbrook was 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And that's about as best as it goes. Of course, every player played a considerable, substantial amount of minutes. Of course, Juan Toscano Anderson with the most at 22. Max Christie with the most at 25 minutes, 22. The least amount was 13 by Patrick Beverly, who had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist to end the night. Of course, I'm very sure. I don't know how much prowess anyone takes into the preseason, but I'm very sure it looks to ramp up and get better. Of course, with 2 weeks, or the season being 2 weeks away, the start of the season, to where you really dial in and find out what is your rotations potential are going to be. Who is your starters? I know one thing I seen just as early as yesterday, where it was stated that most likely the starters for the Lakers would end up being a rotation that has been used for the most part has been, of course, LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook, with Kendrick Nunn and Damian Jones at the picking up the rest of the slack. Of course, last night, Damian Jones, 1.4 rebounds and 1 assist. So I know they're going to continue to work with that to find the right niches and the right individuals. So it remains to be seen. Let's go, Lakers. Let's not start with shenanigans too early, of course. So, of course, like I said, you have that for the most part in what you're doing. One thing which I talked about yesterday, I said that if you're a follower of military basketball, I think Haley might still be in the comments. If you're a follower of military basketball, you have the National Military Basketball Tournament, which is an event that goes on every year, and which is a tournament of what they presume as the top programs across the military basketball um, community spectrum, however you want to label it. So over the weekend, um, the National Military Basketball Tournament released a top 20 preseason. I want to put emphasis on the term preseason, as there was plenty of back and forth in reference to the top 20 that they release. Of course, you have to go to their site in order to see the comments that were stated in reference to these games. But for these top 20, starting for number 20, um, dubbed by the National Military Basketball Tournament Committee, at number 20, Nellis Air Force Base. At number 19, Maxwell Air Force Base. At number 18, Joint Base Fort Worth. At number 17, Colorado Military Basketball. At number 16, Barksdale Air Force Base. Number 15, the West Texas Military Basketball.
Wow.
At number 14, ENC Military Basketball. At number 13, Cannon Air Force Base.
What?
At, at number 12, at number 12, JB Langley Eustis. At number 11, Elgin Air Force Base. Goodness, this is like a lot of Air Force bases. At number
Yeah.
10, at number 10, Fort Campbell Eagles, or Fort Campbell. At number 9, JB Meyer. At number 8, Lackland Air Force Base.
Of course.
At number 7, Fort Benning. At number 6, Camp Pendleton. At number
Mm,
5, Hawaii Elite. At number
okay.
4, Luke Air Force Base. At number
Okay.
3, Pope Airfield, formerly known as Fort Jackson. At number 2, Fort Carson. And of course, at number 1, uh, shout out Coach Uriah and his and him working it out, the Fort Hood Phantom Warriors at number one for the preseason National Military Basketball Tournament, as that's very heavy with the Air Force bases. I see, but of course, like I
Why are
said,
you
this.
so surprised? Get out of here.
You know what? You're right. You are exactly right. I will say that. I will say that. A huge dominance across the board. One thing I will say is, of course, like I said, it's preseason. One of the things in which Coach, which was being said is preseason, but there was a lot of angst after on this award. I mean, this list because a lot of people felt like some people haven't played. You haven't seen people play, but of course, as it was said, as it was stated, additionally in the comments that as meaningful games are being played because you have a host of tournaments that's going to be played in which these teams are going to be playing in. Then we start to get the start to kind of decipher the list and break it up and filter it because teams are playing, and now you have teams like, of course, my very own the Fort Polk team wasn't mentioned, or saying it's a bevy of other teams that wasn't mentioned, in which is not we don't know what the season's going what it's going to look like by the time they have their the end of the season tournament. So,
Um, I am shocked at Cannon Air Force Base is number 12.
mm-hmm,
I was just stationed there last year, and I didn't see no number 12th ranked basketball players. They must have just got like some hoopers or something, because that is small.
uh-huh,
That's wild. Shout out to the Air Force bases.
yeah.
But y'all
So of
got the
course,
top spots, Coach Ryan.
it'd be one of those things like, is there more? Is it strength in numbers, or is it strength in being the number? Which
The,
one is it?
the number. Nine
That's what
times
it.
out of 10, the best player on the court is going to win the game for his team.
Mm. Haley, is that you? Haley plays for for Hood Phantom. But I heard they retooled and they're ready to go. So of course I want to try to do my best to get out to see. I got other stuff, but I want to try to do my best to get out and see any of them. I know there's a tournament in Fort Hood that's like 6 hours away from me. As equally San Antonio, there's going to be a couple of games in San Antonio that's 6 hours away from me. So might have to pull up. Of course, there's a game coming up soon where the Fort Polk team is going to be playing on the Pelicans at the Pelicans basketball court versus a local uh, professional team, lower tier professional team against the Beaumont Panthers. So of course, I'm pulling up to that game. So yeah, a lot of basketball to pull up to and see. Be sure to get out there, support, check them out, check them out, check them out. But yeah, but Ron, as you dropped off for a second, I was having a conversation and talking about uh, the Lakers, they lost their game, 30 points drubbing. But before you fell off, I was one of the conversations in which we was talking about, which I was speaking on, is um, we was just talking about how Jokic now with Jamal Murray back, does that change at all? And then I wanted to preface and bring up the fact of, if you add a Jamal Murray type player in Dallas, doesn't that change Luka's output? But no sooner than I said that, I thought about, they had Porzingis and it didn't change Luka's output. Luka was like, huh, I'm still Luka.
And they had our guy that went to the Knicks who didn't want to
Yes,
play with
Jalen
Luca,
Bronson. Hmm.
who like, nah, this ain't the move. I'm just in a corner. It's like playing with LeBron.
So yeah, I guess but I definitely think uh, although Jokic was able to emerge, I think we see even one of the two things going to happen. I guess one of the three we think about. Even Jamal's going to come back and take it back. Uh, the coaching and the staff is going to continue to relinquish. Is like, nah, this is Joker's team now, or Jamal's going to be like, I got to leave.
He's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary. Let's not act like we don't know who a Penny Hardaway, a Grant Hill is, a Brandon Roy, a Kawhi
Mm.
Leonard. I can't wait to see which Jamal Murray we get back. But if we get in a drop in 40, 50 point games in the playoffs, yeah, the Denver Nuggets is going to be a great second round exit from the playoffs. You caught that?
Not to mention they get Michael Porter Jr. back. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Uh, to have him back in the fray as well, but to have all three of them, like you basically said, is now we kind of left them out. We left them out to dry, and now they're they might be full strength with
I
the
wish
Aaron
they were.
Gordon.
I wish they were able to address their defense and in the paint specifically. Um, like to have like a Jarrett Allen, how Cleveland got, would be phenomenal. Who is their backup center to help out Joker? Because he needs some help. Because that's their only weakness. He gets barbecue chicken down in that paint. Um, if they could fix that and get like a JaVale McGee or something like that, and they stay healthy, we will be talking about Denver back in the conference finals. It's deep. It's crazy. We can't forget about Dallas. We can't forget about the Timberwolves, and of course, I ain't gonna say that name. The team up in San Francisco. Um, we got a hell of an NBA season ahead of us.
Yeah, and I was just saying, like it's looking like the West is back to strength, being strength, having the strength in numbers to where the dominance. Like I think the East was catching up for a second. Then the East had their chance. Uh, they missed. Now it seems like the West is back. Even the lower tier teams like Portland might be more formidable than whoever the lower team tier is on in the East. It's like the East might be relegated back to being little brother again. Let me see. But of course, moving on, getting into the NFL conversation before we get to last night's game. Of course, um, I think I like to commend Ron 12 and 4 on his picks this week. Just four short of a perfect schedule, a perfect pick.
I got my pick right last night.
Yeah, that's why I said that put you at the 12 because you was 11. So 12 and
Oh, okay, I
4
was
on
at
the
11.
yeah, yeah. He was 12 and 4. So pick, saying doing doing his thing, of course, in those picks. But of course, I don't think it's any surprise. Um, Tua is out with a concussion. So he will not be playing in Week 5 versus as they have a matchup with the New York Jets.
Be out for the rest of the season, Trey.
You think so?
Why not? It
Mm,
takes it takes a month to recover from a concussion, and he was back in 4 days. And then he
correct.
got that second concussion. They say once you get the second one on top of one that you got already now, it's over.
Takes a little
It's
time.
like you basically got five concussions when you get them back to back like that. And I
Of
want
course,
to, yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater is due to start. Do you think the Miami could be formidable with Teddy Bridgewater behind at the helm? I don't see I don't see Eric out there or Zach for the most part. But I remember it was a time in which Teddy Bridgewater was commanding the Minnesota Vikings to what could have been. Oh, okay, Eric's there. Teddy. You have insight on Teddy. Is Teddy formidable enough to hold Miami down and keep them in contention? Eric, I remember he was that dude for Minnesota at one point until he got injured, a
He
horrific
got
injury.
he got to be licking his chops, Trey.
It's just he has an opportunity. That's I wonder does he take advantage? Do you think he takes advantage, Ron?
Oh, without a doubt. I feel like a high school quarterback could take advantage. You just got to if you can throw a 40-yard pass, You're gonna put up numbers with the Dolphins because guess what? Tyreek Hill is going to get open down the field. Jalen Waddle is going to get open, and they don't even have to get open. You can just throw them bubble screens and they can bust one at any. And the Dolphins are so fast. They're just young and fast everywhere. Greatly coached. Oh man, yeah. Teddy licking his chops. He got his shot back.
It's here.
Shout
So
out
you're
to
saying
him.
that he has a chance. Teddy Two Gloves back in effect. Additionally, another player that Ron, I don't know. I think it's time for Tyrod to call it a career. But before we get into this, of course, we know
I would have did that after the collapse lung.
every chance he gets is taken from him. Matter of fact, we get to a second. New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones could miss Week 5 game with a high ankle sprain potentially that he suffered in the third quarter of last week's game, in which he was replaced by, of course, the incumbent Tyrod Taylor. In which you're talking about. If anyone knows Tyrod Taylor, he can be the NFL's newest Patrick Fitzgerald. Fitzpatrick if he can stay healthy. But of course, Tyrod gets in the game and he gets a concussion. Now his chances removed. Daniel Jones comes back in. Of course, quarterback in just wins the game, but of course he's injured. So potentially the Giants could have David Webb, their third string quarterback, off the practice squad, get to start this week versus none other than Green Bay. So, but of course, coach has not came out and said yet if he's going to um, go with um, Webb or if he's going to go with Daniels. He's still a chance that Daniel may get the start. He is recovering a little bit. Ron, what do you say? What do we say for Tyrod, man? I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Every chance, every opportunity, he continues to sip and get opportunity after opportunity, uh, and then the opportunity is taken. At this point, I'm looking to hear him saying that he's retiring.
Collapsed lung, broken body, concussions, on top of being an NFL football player.
A mobile
How old is
quarterback.
Tyrod?
I believe Tyrod is. I think Tyrod is.
2009 Orange Bowl. Oh, he's not that old. Well, yeah, he's getting there. He's 33.
Yeah, he's getting there. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a journeyman at this point. He said Tyrod go to the XFL. Do not matter. Giants are not beating the Packers this week.
That's what we said about the Patriots. They were supposed to win by 10 points and they was playing in overtime.
Yeah, Green Bay is. Yeah, they
Matter of
still
fact,
go. They're still doing what they got to do in Green Bay. So I mean, it remains to be seen. I wouldn't completely count them out yet. Of course, we will make our picks till Friday, so we got time to mull over it and see to do a comprehensive look and see take a look and be like if Green Bay and this New York game is going to be, and then Daniel Jones might be there. He's not a slouch at this point. He's
yeah,
recovering.
Packers favored by 8 at home.
Ooh, all there at home. Tyrod has always been a second-rate QB, and this is not going to change. Denver Nuggets, Denver Broncos running back Devontae Williams out for the season with the ACL tear. Unfortunate situation. Now we have another opportunity. Melvin Gordon gets another opportunity, the third, signed to a 1-year deal. He gets opportunity to maybe extend that to show that he still is a formidable back in the league. To where if Denver go ahead and let him walk, he may be able to be picked up as a utility back from somewhere else. Of course, as well, defensive end Randy Gregory suffered a knee injury, which now he has been placed on the IR, putting him out for the next 4 games. As well as Russell Wilson relegated to limited practice as he has a shoulder injury. He's pretty banged up. Earlier in the show, we was discussing and talking about how Geno Davis at this point has outplayed Russell Wilson. If you look at the stats and take a look, Geno is ahead in touchdowns, or I think they're tied as touchdowns. Geno has less interception. He has more passing yards. Isn't that
They
an
tied in touchdowns.
interesting turn of events as Geno Davis is held as one of the top quarterbacks at this point statistically in the NFL after 4 games?
They're tied in touchdowns.
I think he's ahead. Let me see.
I
I
feel
could
like
put.
Geno had to have more touchdowns just against Detroit than Russ had all year.
Let
Russ
me
only
see.
got like 1 touchdown a
You're
game.
right. You're right. Let me see. I think they were tied in touchdowns before the game. I'll pull it up now.
Right. And he had 3, I think. It's crazy he only had 3 and they scored 50 points. You can thank Jared Goff for all them pick sixes. Jesus.
Let me see. Let me pull up Geno. See where Geno's at now. So Geno Smith
He probably got 6.
for the year, Geno has 6 touchdowns. Yes. Wait. Yeah, for the year, Geno has 6 touchdowns currently. He threw 2 against Seattle, 2 against Denver, 2 against Atlanta, and 2 against Detroit. So he has 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and um, averaging 132 yards a game.
Ugh. That's trash.
Do you know what I'm realizing, Ron, is that is, but he's 76. He's a 76 completion rate. But what I'm starting to realize, Ron, is the dink and dunk era is kind of prevalent. I don't know if it's by design or what's going on. What's good, Anthony? Morning, brother. Um, I don't know if it's by design or what's going on, but we're starting to see a lot of. I think, in my opinion, you're starting to see a lot of quarterbacks that, for the most part, are getting 200, 215 yards, and that's being more of the more of what's going on. Russell Wilson, uh, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, QB rating 124. Oh, that was his last game. He was 124.9. But yeah, Russell Wilson, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception on the year. He's averaging. What's his average? He's 237. Oh, I stand corrected. But yeah, so that's what. Yeah, so yeah, at this point, Geno is a better quarterback. Interesting enough to be traded and now to be outplayed by what was thought to have been a bigger value. Um, O-line can't hold up. Ron's always on one. Uh, can't hold up. So I get what you're saying, Anthony. The defensive line you feel like can't hold up in Denver, which causes Russell Wilson all the angst and the issues and the problems. Let me see. Additionally, of course, um, Chucky Zuckerberg. Ron, here's a funny one. Um, so yeah, I wish it would have came after the 49ers game, but of course it hasn't. Before we get to the 49ers, of course, one more. Atlanta's running back, Cordell Patterson, has been placed on an IR after he had his knee procedure. Of course, they had to do some shave down and clean up his meniscus. Now he's going to be out for the next 4 games, due to come back his next game in November. Yes, Kenneth, he's out. Ken, Rich, he's done. So anyone on fantasy football, Diaper Dandy is currently out. He will be back, however, this season. He just won't be back potentially till November the 6th, in which they play against the Los Angeles Chargers. So all these players, if you're looking at these, you better start to hit the waiver wire right now. Start looking at picking up other players. So of course, like I said, if you're looking at Devontae Williams done for the season, Cordell Patterson done for the next 4 games, um, Tua done for at least this week. Ron expects him to be done for the season. Daniel Jones potentially out. Uh, But who you can possibly use, Kenny Pickett, is a possibility that Kenny Pickett will maybe get the start in Pittsburgh. It has yet to be named yet, but a lot of critics are discussing and speaking about analysts is talking about how they think Kenny Pickett might get his first start. So Pickett out. Trubisky potentially out. Pickett in. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Pickett did throw 3 interceptions. They did. So, but Patterson, in my opinion, is hard to replace, especially when you come to a fantasy standpoint. That's a hard person to replace. He gets it done in so many different ways. All right, Anthony said they starting. So I don't know. Pickett. In Is this a last ditch effort? Is Mike Tomlin trying to save his season early, or is it just clearly a difference in play in Trubisky and Pickett? As I stated earlier, now when you look at it, what's good, Zach? Good morning, brother. Glad to see information. But now when you look at it from a standpoint, I said it. It's hard to play when you feel like you got to watch over your shoulder and feel like you being every little thing, every little step you take, you're being ridiculed, and you got to sit and worry about the fact that everyone's calling for your head, and it becomes. I'm very sure a lot of anxiety fault comes into play, and maybe presumably this is what Trubisky was looking at, or is it that Trubisky just isn't that dude? He's better as a backup. Is that what it is? He was formidable with Buffalo, or was it just the team? Was the Buffalo the team? A lot of stuff for me comes into play on why Trubisky was not able to hold his job. Picking to start actually throws to Pickens, but with the Steelers' schedule, they may not. Yeah, the Steelers are in trouble, especially with their schedule. Pickens. The pick, so you're down with the Pickens Pickett the Pickens connection. I don't know. Is Pickens ready? I know he was okay. I mean, he was pretty good in Georgia. Is Pickens ready from a standpoint all across the board? When it comes to the being the top receiver, or being a top receiver in Pittsburgh, not the NFL, in Pittsburgh, is he ready? I see on Monday night he had a couple of good catches. And then when they needed him to catch the ball the most, he tried to one-handed it. It ricocheted, went out of bounds. Went to the defender, interception, but it was out of bounds. Do you feel like Kenneth or anyone else that K Rich, that anyone that Pickens is ready to be that dude? I know he had a nice catch, steady feet, positioning from Pickett during the game, but is he fully ready to take that on consistently over the course of these next 13 games? He said Mitch is a backup QB like Lynch. Of course, in any case, you have those things. Uh, okay, Rich, you say you think he'd be all right. I'll rock with you. I'll keep watching out on Pickens. I know I was just a little upset last week because I needed Pittsburgh to get that win, and he aided in them not getting it, in my opinion. But we'll continue to see. Um, Going into the Monday night, right? I was little. if anyone watches the show and knows, that everyone knows that I am a 49ers fan. Die hard, even, so to speak. Although I did not pick them last night. So you must understand my pain last night when I had to sit back and watch as my 49ers picked apart and befuddled the Los Angeles Rams offense and defense, so to speak. I had to sit there and just think to myself, Trey, you picked against the 49ers, which I do, but I don't do it often. Of course, the San Francisco, I am a diehard. Just because I'm a sensible diehard, I'm not going to sit up and just everything is the 49ers. I'm not going to be that person that sit up and like no matter what I believe. My belief was that the offense wasn't ready to play against the Los Angeles Rams defense. What we found out is the Rams defense wasn't prepared to face the 49ers. I mean, the Rams offense was not prepared to face the Rams defense. I mean, the 49er defense. Uh, it wasn't necessarily for free. It wasn't necessarily for free. But like we said, it was on display for us all to see. Of course, the San Francisco defense was electric, so to speak. Before I, well, you know, fact, first, let me get to this. Of course, like I said, the 49ers took on the Rams last night, played host to them. Rams came to San Francisco, came up the Bay, in which they walked away with the L, losing 24-9. Both teams currently at 2-2 for the season. I believe the 49ers may be the top team in the conference now. Possibly. Matt Stafford, 32 for 48, 254 yards and an interception. Of course, you know that long interception came on Hafangu's pick six, 57-yard return. Darrell Henderson with 7 carries for 27 yards. Cam Akers, 8 for 13. Brandon Powell was 1 for 11. And Matt Stafford contributed 2 carries for 6 yards. Cooper Kupp, 14 receptions, 122 yards, just no touchdowns. Tyler Higbee, 10 receptions, 73 yards. Ben Stronach, 2 receptions for 33 yards. Darrell Henderson, 3 for 12. Allen Robinson, 2 for 7. Blanton was 1 for 7 as well. In which they stated last night, of course, it was that was talked about as well. As K. Rich said, to talk about the Rams are missing OBJ. It was discussed last night. Of course, but OBJ isn't signed with anyone. Is he a candidate to get back with the Rams? He's not expected to potentially get back to around week 6, in which that gives him 6 to 7 games to get back into a certain mode. Rams had no answers for the run. And all this was prevalent, of course, the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, 16 for 27, 239 yards with a TD. Jeff Wilson, 18 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, 1 for 9. Jimmy carried the ball once for 1 for 3 yards, 2 for 2 yards, which is interesting. They used a different tactic. Usually we would thought we've seen a heavy dose of Debo at all in every position, but they doubled down and basically in that part in which you can't basically recover from that, or you can't accept for that when you're looking at these are professionals. You would think the tackle is a huge part of the game. You expect that to happen. It didn't happen last night as Debo 6 receptions, 115 yards plus a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk was 4 for 37. Kyle Juszczyk was 1 for 35. Kittle 2 receptions for 24 yards. Jawan Jennings 2 receptions himself for 22 yards, and Ray McCloud was 1 for 6. But of course, and that's the funny part. I was going to get to that, okay, Rich. But of course, like I said, defense was the key. The 49ers defense, 7 sacks last night, 17 pressures, didn't allow offensive touchdown at all. The Rams were in the red zone 3 times last night, walked away with 3 field goals. like I said, Hufanga got the pick six with 57-yarder. Debo doing his thing. It was all clicking for in every aspect. It's definitely apparent that Stafford can get the job done. We know we're not going to say that, but it is clear that they need to find another answer because Cooper Kupp can't do it alone. Well, I mean, he can to a point of getting into the red zone, but of course, when we get to the red zone, that streaks the field. Now there's less room for Kupp to operate, but now it's a little more congested. And that time in which, if the line isn't holding up, the defensive, I mean, the core defense gets to Stafford, and now you have a problem. And what you were seeing last night, noticeably. Debo, except Debo caught the ball over a DB, shed 2 tackles, bounced off another tackle, and scored. He was and I mean, you got to also take in consideration Debo is a different type of player. You got we can take that we can say that probably wouldn't have happened off of Jawan Jennings for the most part, but in any case, it shouldn't have happened, especially when you can tackle. I've been saying this. CC, I clearly think that Jalen Ramsey is a bit overrated. I think Jalen Ramsey is a bit overrated. Or is it the scheme? I seen him. He was on Brandon Ayuk the majority of the night, in which Brandon Ayuk didn't do that much. So maybe not. Is Jalen Ramsey a player to watch the top receivers, or is it the scheme that keeps him on one side of the field? I thought he follows the receivers, but he wasn't playing. He didn't play Debo last night that much. He played Brandon Ayuk a lot, who's a 49ers second receiver. So Brandon, so Ramsey, I don't know. We ain't saying that you're whack or you know what I'm saying you're a problem, but how much a problem is Jalen Ramsey? Like at this point, who is the top corners in the league? He's a cover corner. Of course, Anthony comes on and say corners don't travel with the receivers, the number one receivers. Uh, nowadays they don't travel with them. I don't know because the schemes people play in schemes. Of course, if you see me matching up with the top corner, then it's like now you're covering. You got to basically say that I'll cover. So of course, with all that, you get now you get to see the different schemes. But Jalen Ramsey is okay. Let's not say exposed. I'm not. Maybe that's a little too much to say he's been exposed, but he's been worked over a couple of times, or he's getting worked over. Uh, but he does his working as well, so we can't take that from him. But so it's one of those situations where it's like now is now we all this has come into play. Uh, hold on one second. So now we wait and see. Now, like I said, both teams 2-2. I think the whole conference is 2-2 now. Yes, I think so. Everyone's 2-2 across the board. It's getting a little spicy, as Ron would say. So with that, of course, let me pull up the tale of two. I guess you could say the tale of two sites, the tale of two cities, the tale of two different things. In which now we have, of course, the ESPN top 32 for the teams, top 32 teams in the league, as they say it. No fear for Jalen Ramsey anymore. I won't say that, Applewhite. I think he's still feared. I don't think people are just going to throw to him to his side, but I do think that it's less likely that of a chance that they're going to have where if you don't expect your top receivers to come up with the ball versus Jalen. No difference from LaShawn Lattimore getting worked over this weekend by Justin Jefferson. Like, he ran right past the man, and that was you just can't account for speed in state, and that was shown over the course of the game in London over this weekend. So, of course, at number 32, the Houston Texans back holding fast at 32 in the ESPN top 32, the same as last week. At number 31, down for 29, the Carolina Panthers at 1-3. The Washington Commanders fall from 26 to 30 in this week's ranking. The Pittsburgh Steelers drop from number 24, 5 spots to number 29. The Chicago Bears down 6 spots to number 28 in the ranking. The New England Patriots dropped from 23 to 27. The Indianapolis Colts, the Indianapolis Colts fall from number 20 to 26. A lot of in the bottom half dropping. The Detroit Lions remain steadfast, currently 1-3. They just on the cusp. The New Orleans Saints, in a losing effort, move up 3 spots to number 21. Move up 3 spots. Drop 3 spots from number 21 to 24. The New York Jets move up from number 31 to number 23. That's a move up 8 spots. I presume they'll be dropping soon again. The Las Vegas Raiders move up from number 30 to number 20 to number 22. What's going on, sis? How you doing? Who Dat Nation? That's what you on? Okay. The Atlanta Falcons move up 7 spots from number 21 to number 28 to 21. The Seattle Seahawks go from 27 to 20 themselves in a surprise in the NFC West. The Arizona Cardinals go for number 19, stay at number 19, steadfast at number 19. As we get into the top 20, it's close to edge towards the top 15. I am surprised. The Cleveland Browns down from number 11 to number 18. The Denver Broncos down from number 12 to number 17. Tennessee Titans move up from number 18 to number 16, 2 spots. The Jacksonville Jaguars drop 2 spots from number 13 to number 15. The New York Giants move up from number 17 to number 13. The Los Angeles Chargers move up 2 spots from number 13 to number 15, from number 15 to number 13. The San Francisco 49ers, after the dub last night, move up 2 spots from number 14 to number 12. The Dallas Cowboys up 5 slots from number 16 to number 11. The Cincinnati Bengals remain steadfast at number 10. As we get into the top 10, the Baltimore Ravens drop from number 6 to number 9, moving 3 spots. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers remain at 8. The Minnesota Vikings up 2 spots from number 9 to number 7. That is going to, I think that's going to take a turn at some point, Eric. The Los Angeles Rams dropping from number 5 to number 6. The Miami Dolphins drop once from number 4 spots from number 1 to number 4. The Green Bay Packers move up 3 spots from number 7 to number 4. The Philadelphia Eagles remain steadfast at number 3 at the only undefeated team in the NFL. I'm very sure if Bishop was on, it'd be something to say, as well as Ron if he was on at this point. The Buffalo Bills remain steadfast at number 2 with a 3-1 record. And, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs move up 4 spots from the number 4 spot, move up 3 spots from number 4 to number 1, as currently the top-ranked ESPN the 32. It said the Raiders get a lot of love. Eric feels like Minnesota should be in the top 5. Really, Eric? Do you? Y'all beat the Packers with... Okay, I'll say you saying the Packers are... Eric, do y'all really feel y'all a top 10 team? Y'all are a top 5. Is it top? Where are y'all at? Where I say a top 7? Y'all a top 17? You feel that for real? For real? Why Cincinnati ahead of the Cowboys? It sounds like this a list depending on who you play, not your record. I think I think that's what it is. They're looking at probably strength of schedule 23-7 when clear. Not saying we stay there, but okay. All right, I'll rock with you on that, Eric. Top seven. Um, Definitely not, like you said, it's definitely not a list in conversation and talking about the record because it's clear that the that the Eagles are the only defeated undefeated team, and yet they're not the top. So when you move over to the NFL, however, of course, same rhetoric. The Houston Texans are number 32. The Carolina Panthers dropped 2 spots from 29 to 31. The Chicago Bears dropped 3 spots from number 27 to 30. The Washington Commanders move up a spot from number 28 to 29, presumably to make room. The Indianapolis Colts drop from the 23rd rank to the 28th rank. The Pittsburgh Steelers fall from 26 to 27. The New York Jets move up 5 slots for number 20. Excuse me, from number 32 to 26. Correction, 31 to 26. The New England Patriots drop 1 spot from 24 to 25. Detroit Lions drop 8 spots from number 18 to from number 16 to number 24. The Seattle Seahawks move up 5 spots. Move up 5 spots from 28 to 23. The Atlanta Falcons move up 3 spots from move up 3 spots to 22. The Cleveland Browns drop 4 spots from number 17 to number 21. The Jacksonville Jaguars drop 2 spots from number 18 to 20. The New York Giants move up 3 slots from number 22 to number 19. The New Orleans Saints 1 spot from number 19 to 18. That Arizona Cardinals move up 3 from number 20 to 17. The Denver Broncos drop from number 14 to number 16 in the NFL.com rankings. The Las Vegas Raiders, with the love, move up from number 21 to number 15, topping the top 15. Bottom of the top 15. The Los Angeles Chargers move up 1 slot from 15 to 14. The Dallas Cowboys move up, steadfast, sit at number 13. I guess there's more to prove from the Cowboys, currently at number 13. The Tennessee Titans steadfast at number 12. The Los Angeles Rams dropped 5 spots from number 6 to number 11. The Miami Dolphins falling from number 3 to number 10. The Minnesota Vikings steadfast at number 9 in the NFL top 32. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers remain steadfast at number 8. The Baltimore Ravens steadfast at number 7. The Cincinnati Bengals move up 4 spots from number 10 to number 6. The San Francisco 49ers, let's go, up 6 spots from number 11 to number 5 in the NFL rankings. The Green Bay Packers steadfast at number 4. Kansas City moves up 2 slots from number 5 to number 3. The Buffalo Bills steadfast at number 2, and of course, remaining steadfast as number 1 as the only top-rated team in the NFL with the only undefeated record. The new Philadelphia Eagles remain at number 1 after a week. Eric, really? That's how you feel, brother? That's how you want to do us? We're not in top 5. Our defense is alone puts us in that position. So you're going to say that we're not a top 5? We coming for that number 1 spot. Just like the USC Trojans is going for that number 1 spot, we're coming for that number 1 spot. It's just a matter of time. Slowly but surely. We're 2 games behind, but we own it. So of course, let's say, like I said, to tell the two different, I guess you could say rankings. Uh, you may be correct, Eric. I don't know. We got to get, like I said, got to get back instituted. It's like it was hard. Like I said, for me, that was a hard situation last night for me to pick against my squad. It can happen. What we're not going to act like Anthony is that cannot happen. We're not going to sit up and say that cannot happen. When you look at it for the simple fact of Georgia almost lost to Mizzou, hard fought game. Alabama has players in which that has teams to still play. Ohio State and Michigan is above us, and Clemson is above us. I expect Clemson to lose at some point. Ohio or Michigan are going to have to lose, lose because they have to play one another. So that's a possibility. The Georgia and is going to have to play Alabama, I believe, or maybe not. But Georgia's going to run into somebody which they're going to probably have a problem with, and then Alabama, for the most part, is going to probably run. They still have Auburn. They might have Georgia, so someone that's going to put. Oh, we might not get number one. All we have to do is take care of our business, and we're going to move up. I think we'll be in the top four by season end, maybe even number three, as long as we continue to get our dubs. I mean, true. I give you that. Slick. I do not for the life of me, CC, know why it is that Dallas is back down there. Tennessee might get the dub against Georgia, in which they probably would jump us if that's the case. But Tennessee is going to fall off at some point too. But yeah, so of course you say look at the Vikings schedule. There's only 3 teams left that can actually beat us. I'm sure we have one of the easiest schedules. And y'all might be, but do you think it's sustainable? Is Kirk Cousins a sustainable quarterback, Eric? Do you believe that fully? Do you think, even with the weakest schedule in the NFL, that Kirk Cousins can sustain? He was on the ropes this weekend. Y'all probably should have lost that game this weekend against the Saints. So do you really feel that Kirk Cousins is sustainable? I don't even feel that Jimmy Garoppolo is a sustainable quarterback to continue this, but our defense sustains that for it. Y'all don't have the same type of defense as the San Francisco 49ers, as the Dallas Cowboys, as the Rams, maybe even the Philadelphia Eagles. So do you think that it's a sustainable model for y'all with Kirk Cousins? If you find the right defense to lock down Justin Jefferson, y'all have problems. Okay, I'll give you that. It remains to be seen. Yes, I do. We have a new offensive defensive scheme. We're still learning. Y'all not realizing that we're getting better with our schemes. Okay, Eric. Okay. I keep this in mind. But definitely a situation where it's, and I agree. I agree. The Saints had y'all, man. But I mean, like you said, a win is a win. Everyone said Eric is tripping. So I mean, it remains to be seen. So I'm not throwing too far. I mean, they're currently a top team, 3-1. I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due. The Packers barely beat the Patriots so well. Who's your next game, Eric? Who y'all got next week? Who's your actually, who do we have next week? Easy win. So y'all presumably will go 5-1. Cardinals. I won't say Cardinals necessarily an easy win. But definitely the Bears is probably an easy win. I'll give y'all that. I'll give you that. Um, so you're looking pretty good for the beginning and start of the season. I'll give you that. We got the Panthers, and then the Falcons. I don't know about that now. Tell you who does might have your number. So it remains to be seen. So it's like I said, it's going down. It'll be going down soon. So although I know it's a little bit although I know it's a little bit early, I have to get to going. Got to get in. I got to do a couple of errands and get to this place that the other job that pays me, so that way I can make sure the season in which we have is going and off to the bang. Got to get it out there, pay some bills, and do some planning and assault on the sports program. But I appreciate you, High Speeds, rocking with me this morning. Ron, come on. Bishop, they got an APB out on you, brother. I know you probably taking care of some business, but you know what I'm saying? You need to holler at the people. They're wondering, they're starting to worry about you. They know that Oklahoma took 2 L's, consecutive L's, maybe a potential third one. The fans are worried about you. The high speeds are worried about you, man. They ain't seen you formation. They wondering where you at. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? You got Applewhite, yelling Boomer Sooner. Like you got people calling for your job, man. It's just one of those things, brother. You just got to be send a smoke signal or something, let them people know that you're okay. They're really actually waiting to drag you in reference to the Sooners, I'm sure. But I know you loading up, and you still have the Eagles. That's out there. So, but like I said, greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us with this morning. Y'all know where to catch me, Ron, anyone in which you have a guest. Know where to catch First Formation every morning, 09 to 1100 hours. CST, the computations to make it fit for your time. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Greatly appreciate y'all, High Speeds. All love. Peace.